Now let's understand, what are the various factors which actually influence the valuation. More or less, there are certain 4 or 5 important factors which actually try and influence the valuation. Let's understand those important factors, right? Now, one of the factors, very important factors, which uh, uh, impacts valuation is nothing but your financial performance. Now, any company or any asset which is a good generating revenue company has very good EBITDA margins, is generating a lot of free cash flows, right? This kind of a company will definitely give a good return to the invested capital. And that typically means it will always have a higher valuation compared to a company which is generating less of revenue, less of margins, because the expected return on the free cash flow will gradually go down. And hence, this becomes a very important metric for understanding how the valuation will change in the market. Second is the market conditions. Now we understand, interest rates keep on varying, especially the government rates and the borrowing rates, the lending rates. These keep on varying in the market. The more there are, the interest rates changeability, it directly impacts your weighted average cost of capital because your cost of equity or cost of debt will change accordingly. So if the interest rate of borrowing goes higher, it typically means the cost of debt will go higher. And similarly, if the cost of debt goes higher, there are very high chances the cost of equity might also go higher, which also translates to the fact that your WACC will go higher. So that typically means your future cash flows are discounted on a certain WACC, which is much higher, which will definitely give lower valuations on the present value of the future cash flows. This is going to severely impact your valuations. And I'm talking more from the growth company's point of view, right? Now, third important factor is the economic environment. Now, whenever we talk about GDP growth rates, inflations, right, currency stability, these factors impact the terminal growth rate because if there are a lot of fluctuations, then that typically means the industry or the market is not stable, which will typically, state the important statement that the growth rate will go down because the chances of, selling in that market becomes very meek, right? It definitely impacts your terminal value, right? Because the terminal growth rate has been impacted. Now, if the terminal value gets impacted, it also means that your valuation gets impacted. Industry trends, guys, you are pretty much aware of the fact that today AI has taken over a lot of things. Now, the more the AI is getting integrated, right, into the technology, the more the valuation is becoming prominent. If we try and find about the, I would say, the sunset industries, right? The old set of industries, which have been operating in a similar fashion, right? Those industries will typically face heavy discounts on valuation. And something where you have developed an IP or something which is where, the entry barrier to that kind of a business is high, or even if it is, uh, not extremely high, it'll take some time for anyone to come out with that similar set of a working. It gives the existing shareholders the runway of 3 to 5 years, based on if any competitor is coming in the market with a similar set of structure, right? That way, your valuation will typically shoot up. So sunset industries, their valuation will go down, and any new IP, new proprietary tech, anything new coming in will obviously give you a better valuation. Competitive landscape. So industry trends and competitive landscapes, kind of go similar hand in hand. But still, on to understand a better on the competitive landscape, any deep economic moat, such as something where you might have generated an IP, something where you might have built a proprietary tech, something which warrants a lower risk premium. These kind of assets or companies will typically generate a very high valuation for your asset or for your venture. So yeah, guys, I hope I was able to help you understand what are the various methodologies of valuation and what are the important factors that are affecting valuation. In my next series of my video, I'll try and explain you what are the various industries on which the valuations are applied on. Yeah. Till then, guys, thank you so much, for devoting your time to listening to me, and do have a nice day. Thank you, everyone.